Morning, guys. I want to talk to you for a minute about eggs and hatching out your own chicks. So I've got a couple different incubators here. First, when I pick up my eggs, I go out and I pick them up in this basket and bring them in. And then I separate them out. If they're clean looking eggs, they go in this basket. If they're dirty eggs, they go in this dog bowl. And the dirty eggs are just ones that have stuff on them. Dogs get eggs anyway, so we just use those, separate them from here, and then we just have clean eggs to work with. I always keep some eggs on the table in this little turner right here, so that if we have some catastrophic problem outside, I've at least got some eggs that I could start in an incubator and bring my flock back up again, which I've had to do a couple times in the past. So these are the two different types of incubators I have. I've had two of these Magic Fly ones forever. One of them started making a lot of noise, stopped working. The top piece that moves it back and forth stopped working, and so I threw that one away and got another one. This new one, which is this guy right here, it says it's a 12 egg incubator. It says it'll do 12 to 36 eggs. So I got it thinking I'd do 24. Well, it came with extra little dividers here, but the problem is, if you've got a good sized egg, you're only going to get 12 eggs in there. And all of my birds lay a large to extra large egg. So I'm going to get 12 eggs out of that only. Now here's the old incubator that I have. The old incubator is basically a big piece of Tupperware that fits into itself. And down here, you can see how much water I have in it. And then it's got a separator which holds the eggs as you're incubating them up at the top. Once they start hatching out up here, you take this center separator out, and then the chicks are tall enough in there that they're not bumping their head on the top, and they can walk around a little bit. I like that. I like the ability to get them to move around. Now I can only get 9 eggs in this Magic Fly. That's the limitation on it. So if I open this up, you're going to see I just started some. I got 9 of them in there. And this little line right here corresponds into this little tit sticking out right there on that round thing. And that's going to go around in a circle, grabbing a hold of, it'll be stuck in here, and all it's going to do is it's going to keep just moving this thing back and forth, just like the mom would be just rearranging the eggs as she's sitting on them. And that's all that does. And that helps to make them incubate better. Then you got a temperature gauge in the top here, this little thing right here, and that just tells it how hot it is and keeps it at the right temperature so that your eggs end up being not too hot, not too cold. Now as I put this thing back on there, I got to put it back on right. As I put this thing back on there, I've got to go in and I've got to line up. I've got to line up that little stick with that piece that goes in there to sit it back on there to make sure it's on right. And that's how the old one worked. The new one, you can't see the water that's in there because it's a solid color. So I'm not quite sure how much water I have in there, how much I don't have in there. Take the lid off, and as you can see, it uses the same technology with the hole with the stick moving around in it. Now this stick is plastic. The other one is metal. This one's plastic. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Again, it has the same temperature probe in there, so it can tell how hot, how cold it is. But I can't tell how much water I have in there, so my humidity is now more of a mystery to me. The new one also comes with a alarm, so that if I don't have enough moisture, or if I don't have enough heat in there, it's going to tell me how much heat I have in there. And it'll just, that alarm will just start going off, and then I'll have to figure that out. Lid is harder to center to get it to sit right. So that's a bit of an issue that I have with this one. This one does, though, have a little LED light, so I can pop that up there, and then I can put one of my eggs on it, and I can rotate it around and see whether or not I've got a viable egg while I'm looking at putting some in here to incubate. Now, as you can tell, it doesn't do a real good job of giving me enough light. I usually get a bigger flashlight, but it does have that built into it. So that's a plus if you don't have one and you're looking to get one of those that has one automatically in there. Here's the big rub. So this one right here is a piece of Tupperware, 2 pieces, solid, and it holds the water in the bottom. I can put too much water in that, no harm, no foul. It's just too much water. I'm still gonna get the chicks to hatch out. My eggs will be a little wetter than they probably should have been, but they'll live, I'll live, and it works. The new one that I got has 2 weep holes in the bottom of it. If you overfill it, you're gonna get that water all over your table, and you're not even gonna know about it until you all of a sudden see that you got water dripping out of the bottom of your container, which I really don't like. So I went in and I filled those 2 holes with some silicone so that they don't do that. But if you do pick this one up, you got to be careful that there are 2 holes down there, and they don't want you overfilling it, or you end up paying the price for it. I guess most people put these things out in the garage or something on the ground, and then it really doesn't matter, just a little water on the ground. But that's what I found between the 2 of these. I probably will get another magic fly. If it's not going to do as many as I wanted it to, I'm probably going to just get another magic fly, and I'll just do 9 more at a time, or see if they have a bigger one that does have a sturdy base that you can actually see the amount of water that you've got in it. So there you go, guys. That's my story, my drama this morning about eggs and incubating. Have a great day.